one thing I've just seen, when I push the button after leaving down on the road, the light on the button actually starts flashing, and with this one, it doesn't work. But the reason for that is actually for compatibility with the same way that the doors work on the Prague Tram's Epic system, where you can reserve the doors to open. It's the best system there is. Just such an awesome system that they have in Prague, and I wish they had it here. There's absolutely no reason why they wouldn't have it here. Is it some sort of classification and bureaucracy thing of British tram regulation? British tram regulation, it's not actually that outdated, because a lot of it was repealed earlier as unnecessary, then reintroduced later. Anyway, I'm in Merton now, and so let's go and explore Merton and let's see what lifts we find. This is Merton. A bit like kind of areas like Mortlake, Merton actually has an alleyways network. That's because there were originally lots of factories here, and kind of people went through the gaps between them, and there's an abandoned railway alignment which now we converted. This building used to be a train station, and the tram stop on the site of the old train station at Merton Park is actually integrated with the alleyways network rather than with normal roads. It's rather strange. So then, just next to Merton Church, there is Priory Close. This is kind of this like 30s, maybe 40s style apartment complex, and that's up the roof you've got these projections, and that means motor room. But it has all the indications of being council, so it might be likely that they've modernised it. Well, usually when the council modernises one lift, they modernise all of them. It's rather sad. There's the electricals cabinet, and that sort of arrangement's very 1930s. That's an arrangement with the electrical cabinet under the staircase. That's very 1930s. Very 30s, that style. And there's no space for a lift. See, because this is quite an old apartment complex. And so the top floor thing, I think that's probably a water tank. Because I mean, 30s would have used very old boiler system that required you to build these projections out on the roof to have the water tank in. This handrail's rather nice. And it's not been vandalised, but well, it's not really too easy or encouraging to have. And so we're here on the top floor. Obvious, appears to be wet rot or something. Paint's a bit flaky. And this door, fallen off something, can't tell what. And this top floor door appears to be a roof access. Frosted glass, don't know why, it's annoying. Too bright for my camera. So that's the roof. My camera's defying the frosted glass, and it just looks... Basically, I've magnified the frost... I've used my camera to put it really close to the frosted glass, magnifies it up so you see the image. If you place the camera on the frosted glass, then the frosted glass doesn't work. So that's the roof area. And no space for a lift. It must be very old apartments. And we've got this car archway. And we're on a council estate, so you can hear the ice cream van. What's really strange, ice cream vans, they always seem to only ever play around, I mean, at least where I live, in kind of sort of southwest London area. Don't want to be too precise. At least the area where I live, the ice cream vans only play their music when they're going through council estates, which is rather weird. So we're in the borough in Merton, not to be confused with the London Borough of Merton, but basically it's of an area of Merton. It's called the Borough. It's centred on South Wimbledon station. Don't know why they called it South Wimbledon, should have just called it Merton. It's a bit strange. I don't know why. Because it's right in the middle of Merton. It's of the central part of Merton called the Borough. It's kind of bounded by the River Wandle, the old railway line branching off from the trams at Merton Park, and also I think the railway north at Tooting. And this building looks like it was built the same time as those ones, so they wouldn't have built it with lifts. But they could conceal the motor room in a pitched roof. And now to Hudson Court, and these kind of buildings here, I know they definitely have lifts because they had lifts last time I came here, and they are Hammond and Champness lifts here. And so here, and so here you've got these mosaics, and it shows a pre-1952 tram. Is that? This building's got cracks in it. Look, where the tiles got cracks. These are not azulejos. This is not that style of tower. Azulejos is like with different types of tile work. Azulejos tiles, basically they're monochrome. Usually they're blue and white. Sometimes they're black and white. Other colours are like rare. It's kind of monochrome tiles, and the tiles each form a small part of the image, but they're not just one colour on each tile. Basically, this is a mosaic of different tiles. That's more than a centimetre. That's one thumb's width. I'm sure in kind of the ancient Hebrew measurements that has a name. Like a thumb's width is like, I know that basically in like the ancient Roman, imperial measurements are named after the Roman Empire, not after the British Empire, and the inch was supposed to be the distance between your joint here and the tip of your thumb. And so basically, like ancient Old Testament Hebrew measurements, I think thumb width was some sort of significance in that. Anyway, these are about that width, about that squared in area, and it's got a pre-1952 tram, and this building is definitely post-1950s architecture. I think this is 70s, this building. And of course, I remember this from last time I came here, the CCTV cameras are enormous. It's like over a foot, the diameter of that. Both of these lift to a set. I'm not sure, these have been modernised. They were modernised last time the fixtures were replaced. But from what I remember, it still said Hammond and Champness, so maybe they replaced one of the panels. I don't know whether it was modernised by Hammond and Champness or if it was originally Hammond and Champness and then it was modernised. Could be both. 9.
Opening. 11th floor.
That was a bit silly. Hang on. Stairs? Why don't they go to the ground floor? Maybe they can't on a separate entrance. Like, stupid flies. They've had a VF mod, I'm not sure the most was original last time I came here. And this looks more like Express than Hammond and Champness. I think it was Express modernised by Hammond and Champness. And also this looks like it used to have an indicator. So I'm now in the lift in the next building. Another lift the same. I think this Express modernised. This is 70s Express modernised by Hammond and Champness in the 90s. And then modernised again, but I don't know who by. So now I've opened this lift up. And on top, bicycle chain door motor, and rather old looking cartop control, branded as ILE. I think this is a sticker, so I think it could be Hammond Champness. Let's change it to ILE. So now into Marsh Court, more of the same lifts. Rather boring. It's still not opened its doors. So then, this is now the 10th floor, and let's put my camera on top of the lift. First time I've done this. Don't trust myself with myself actually going on it and surfing it, but I'm just going to put my camera. Ah, I've just noticed a switch. Light! Yes! Now you can have some light. I opened it up too soon and it went out of service for 5 minutes before returning to the ground floor.